brave, and the weakest goes to the wall.
True. Therefore, women being the ever weaker vessels are thrust to the wall. Therefore, I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maids to the wall.
Draw thy tool to the house of the Montagues.
My naked blade is out. Quarrel, I will back thee.
How? Turn thy back and run.
Let us take the law on our side, and let them begin.
I will frown as I pass by. Let them take it as a list.
Nay, as they dare, I'll bite my thumb, which is a disgrace to them if they do bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
And is the law on our side if I say aye?
No.
No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. But I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir? Quarrel, sirs? No, sirs.
If you do, sir, I am for you, for I serve as good as man as you.
No better?
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better.
You lie.
Well, draw if you be man. Gregory, remember thy washing blow.
You know not what you do.
What? Art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, and look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage to depart these men with me.
What? Draw and talk of peace. I hate the word as I hate hell. All Montagues, and thee. Have at thee, coward.
Oh, what noise is this? Fetch my longsword, ho!
A crutch! Why call you for a sword?
My sword, I say. Old Montague has come, and he's flourishing his blade in spite of me.
Thou villain Capulet!
Ah!
Hold me not! Let me go!
Thou come not stir foot to seek a foe!
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor-stained steel. Were they not here? What ho, you men, you beast, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture. From those bloody hands throw your mistempered weapons to the ground. And hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word by the old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of that peace. For this time all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon to know our father's pleasure in this case. Once more on pain of death, all men depart.
Who set this ancient quarrel to a broach? Speak, cousin. Will you buy when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary. In close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt, with his sword prepared, which as he breathed defiance to my ears, swung about his head and cut the winds, who, nothing heard withal, hissed him in scorn. After interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and fought in part, till the prince came, who parted their part.
Oh, where's Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am that he's not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worship sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drove me to walk abroad. So early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole to the covert of the woods. I, measuring the affections by my own, pursued my honor, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning dew. adding the clouds, more clouds with his deep sighs. Away from light steals home my heavy sun, and private in his chamber pins himself, shuts up his window, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must his humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would willingly give cure as know.
See where he comes, so please you step aside. I'll know his grievance or be much denied.
We would willingly give cure as we would willingly give to hear true shrift. Command him, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But new struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out.
Of love?
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love, so gentle in its view, can be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? I mean, what fray was here? Oh, yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep, that is not what it is. This love feel I that feels no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz I rather weep.
Good-hearted what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
A farewell, my
Soft
cause.
I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is it that you love?
What shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan, why no, but sadly tell me who.
A sick man in sadness makes his will. A word ill-urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good mark, man, and she's fair, I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bid the encounter of assailing eyes.
Be ruled by me, forget to think of her.
Teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell. Thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
Ha!
Montague is bound, as well as I, in penalty alike. But 'tis not hard to think that men of our age should be able to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you've lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
Not or more than what I've said before. My child is still a stranger to this world. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, and ere we'll think she's ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she or happy mother's maid.
Too soon marred are those so early made. The earth hath swallowed up all my hopes but she. She is the faithful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is only but a part, and she doth agree within the scope of her choice. I'll consent in a fair and according voice. Now, tonight I'm going to host an old accustomed feast where I've invited many a guest of those that I love, and you included in that store. Hey, one more most welcome makes my number more. So come and go with me. Sirrah, go trudge about old Verona and look for those persons whose names are written there, and to them say, my house and welcome on their pleasure stay.
Find them out whose names are written. Here it is written that the shoemaker should meddle with his yards, and the tailor with his lass, the fisher with his pencil, and the painter with his nets. But I am soon to find those persons whose names are writ. I can never find what names the writing person hath here writ. I must to the learned. in good time.
Tut, man! One fire burns on another's burning. One's pain is lessened by another's anguish. Turn giddy and be helped by backwards turning. One desperate grief cures another's languish. Take thee some new infections to thine eye, and the rank poison of the old will die.
God Gigadine! I pray, sir, can you read?
I mine own fortune in my misery.
Perhaps you've learned it without book. But I pray, sir, can you read anything you see?
If I know the letters and the language.
Ye say honestly. Rest you merry.
Stay, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, Count Anselm and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vitruvio, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his sister Valentina, my fair niece Rosaline, and Livia, Signor Valentio and my cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly, whither should they come?
Up.
Whither? To supper?
To our house.
Whose house?
My master's?
Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great rich Capulet. If you not be in the house of the Montagues, I pray you come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry.
At this same ancient feast of Capulet sups the fair Rosalind, whom the house so loves, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye, compare her face with some that I shall show, and I shall make thee think thy swan a crow.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now, by my maidenhead, at 12-year-old I bade her come. What lamb? What ladybird? God forbid, where is this girl? What, Juliet?
How now, who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will? This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou'st hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughters have a pretty age.
Oh, faith, I can tell her age unto an hour. How long is it now till Lammastide?
A fortnight and odd days.
Even her odd of all days of the year. Lammastide at night, she shall be 18. Just so many years as I have teeth. Nay, I jest, I have but 12. But Susan and she were of an age. Oh, God rest all good Christian souls. Susan is with God, she was too good for me. But since the earthquake now, 'tis 11 years, and she and Susan...
Enough of this, I pray thee, hold thy peace.
Yes, my lady, it's just I cannot choose but laugh to think that they should live. Peace, peace.
Yes.
I have done. Thou art the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed. Oh, and I should live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Mary, that Mary is the very theme I came to speak of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an hour that I've dreamed not of.
An hour? Were I not thine only nurse, I'd say thou hadst sucked wisdom from thy teeth.
Well, think of marriage now, younger than you. Here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, how is your mother? Much upon these years that you are now made. Thus, then in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A young man, lady. Oh, lady, a man such as all the world. Why, he's a man of wax.
Oh, Verona summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower. In faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face. Find delight writ there with beauty's pen. This precious book of love, this unbound lover. To beautify him, only likes a cover.
Thou art the cover, my lady.
share in all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less, nay, bigger. Women grew by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like Paris love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking move. But no more deep will I endart mine eye than your consent gives me strength to make fly.
Madam, the guests are come. Supper served up. You called. My young lady asked for. The nurse cursed in the pantry. And everything in extremity. I must hence wait. I beseech you follow.
We follow thee, Juliet. The county stays.
Go, girls, seek happy nights to happy days.
Paris!
Give me a torch, I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground. I cannot move.
But you are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common bound.
I am to soar and pierce with his shaft, to soar with his light feathers, and to bound. I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love, too great a pressure for such a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
Oh, if love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking and you beat love down.
A torch for me, like wanton's light of heart, tickle the senseless rushes with their heels.
Tut, save your reverence, love, or in thou stickest up to the ears. Come, we burn daylight, ho.
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay. We waste our lights in vain like lights by day. Take my good meaning for our judgment sits. 5 times in that air, once in our fine wits.
I dreamt a dream tonight.
Oh, and so did I.
Well, what was yours?
Oh, the dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you.
Queen Mab?
She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than the gate stone or the forefinger of an alderman. She's drawn by a team of little Atomi over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of the longest spinner's legs. Her cover of the wings of grasshoppers, her traces of the smallest spider's web. Her whip of cricket's bone, a lash of film. Her wagoner, a small grey-coated little gnat, not half so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a man. Her chariot, an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel, a road guard. In a time out of mind the fairy coachmakers make, but in this state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains as they dream of love, over lawyers' fingers as they dream on fees, over ladies' lips as they straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry mad with blisters plagues, because their breasts with sweet meats tainted are. Sometimes she gallops over a courtier's nose and dreams he of smelling out a suit. And sometimes she comes with Tithpig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as he lies asleep. Then he dreams of another benefice. Sometimes she driveth over a soldier's neck, and dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches and ambuscados and Spanish blades and health's 5 fathoms deep, and then anon! Drums in his ear, of which he starts and wakes, and frightened, says a prayer or two, and then goes to sleep again. This is the very mad that plates the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf flocks and foul sluttish hairs, which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is the very hag that when maids lie on their backs, she presses them, learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she!
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace, thou talk'st of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are children of an idle brain, begotten of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall arrive too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels. and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the scourge of my course direct my suit. On, lusty gentlemen!
Strike drum!
Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day where I would tell, or I wore a visor, and I would tell a whispering tale to a fair lady's ear, such as would please. But 'tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen, musicians, come and play. Make room, a hall, make room. Ladies, foot it, please. We need more light, you knaves, and quench that fire, for the room grows too hot.
What lady is that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
This by his voice should be a Montague. Fetch my rapier, boy. There's the slave. Now by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
How now, my kinsman? What bestorms you so?
It is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
Is he that villain, Romeo?
Content thee, gentle coz. Let him alone. Bear him like a portly old gentleman. And I'll tell you the truth. All of Verona brags upon him. They say he's a virtuous and well-governed youth. And I would not, for all the wealth in this town, in my own home, do anything to cause him disparagement. So patience. Take no note of him. That is my will. And if thou doth respect it, show fair presence, and get rid of those frowns. They're an ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It is fitting when such a villain is a guest. I'll not endure him.
Oh, you will endure him. My goodman, boy, I say he shall go too. Am I the master here, or are you? You'll not endure him. May God mend my soul. You'll start a mutiny amongst the guests. You'll start a cock-a-hoot, and you will be the man.
Uncle, 'tis a shame.
Well, then go to. Go to. You are a saucy boy. But be quiet. It'll shed light. It'll shed light for shame. Or I'll make thee quiet. It'll cheerly my hearts.
Patience perforce with willful choler meeting makes my flesh tremble in its different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitter gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, my gentle sin is this: My lips to blushing pilgrims did ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shews in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints' lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim lips they must use in prayer.
Why then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant, for prayer's sake.
Then move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips by thine my sins purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took?
Sin from my lips. Oh, trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book?
Madam! Your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor. Her mother is the lady of the house, and a good, and a virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you, talked withal. I tell you, sir, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear, account my life as my foe's debt.
Away be gone, the sport is at its best.
Aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Nay, gentlemen, do not prepare to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. I thank you, honest gentlemen and ladies. Good night. We need more torches. It is time for us to go to bed. Ah, sirrah, it does wax late, and I think I'll go to my rest, but whatever you have here, I'll have one. Thank you.
Come hither, nurse. What's he that now is going out of door?
Mary, I think that be young Petruchio.
What's he that follows here that would not dance?
I know not.
Go ask his name, if he be married. My grave is like to be my wedded bed.
Oh. His name is Romeo, and Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen, unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this?
A rhyme I learned, even now, of when I danced withal.
Come anon, anon. Let's to bed. The strangers are all gone.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! Romeo!
He is wise, and on my life hath stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way and leapt over this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure to. Romeo, humorous, madman, passion, lover, appear now in the likeness of a sign. Speak but one rhyme and I am satisfied. I conjure thee by Rosalind's bright eyes, her high forehead, and her scarlet lips. By her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the dimsies of their adjacent lie. For in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thou wilt anger him.
Oh, this could not anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise him in his mistress's circle of some strange nature, letting it there stand until she had laid it, quartered it down. This is some spite. My invocation is fair and honest. I only conjure but to raise up him.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees, to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best benefits the dark.
Oh, if love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now he sits under this medlar tree, wishing his mistress were that kind of fruit, as maids call medlars when they laugh aloud. Oh, Romeo, that she were, oh, that she were an open and thou a pauperine pair. Oh, Romeo, good night. I am off to my truckle bed, for this field bed is much too cold. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here that means not to be found.
Oh, Vinny.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou her maid art far more fair than she. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love, oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me!
She speaks, so speak again, bright angel.
Oh, Romeo. Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or, if thou will not, be but sworn, my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face. Oh, be some other name belonging to a man. What? In a names in which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called. Retain that dear perfection which he owes. Without that title, Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened a knight so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I have written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo? And a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes, and but thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued, wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek. For that which thou hast heard me speak tonight, fain I would dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell compliment. Dost thou love? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet, if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or, if thou thinkst I am too quickly won, I'll frown, and be perverse, and say thee nay. So thou will woo, else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my behavior light, but trust me, honest gentleman, I'll prove more true than those that have coined to be strange. Oh, I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that which thou overhearst me speak tonight, ere I was ware, and therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder moon I vow.
Oh, swear's not by the moon. The inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb. Least that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt swear, by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee. Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy to this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be, ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, good night.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou did request it, and yet I wouldn't were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. I hear some noise within, dear love adieu. I come anon. Sweet Montague, be true, stay but a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night! I am afeard being in night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night, indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite. And all my fortunes at thy feet I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
I come anon, but if thou meanst not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
By and by I come! To cease thy strife, and lead me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes towards love as schoolboys from their books, but love towards love from school with heavy looks.
Psst, Romeo! Psst.
It is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
What o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
By the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember
I
it.
shall forget again, to have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning, I would have thee gone, and yet no further than a wanton's bird that lets it hop a little from its hand.
I would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night. Good night.
Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow. Would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest. The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night. Hence will I to my ghostly friar's close cell his help to crave and my dear hap to tell.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light. Now, ere the sun advances burning eye, the day to cheer, and night stink dew to dry. I must upfill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. Oh, the earth, that is nature's mother, is her tomb. What is her burying grave that is her womb? And from her womb children of divers kind, we sucking on her bosom find many for many virtues. Excellent. None but for some, and yet all different, but oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, stones, and their true qualities. Within the infant rind of this weak flower, poison hath residence, and medicine power. For being smelt this part, cheers each part. For being tasted, slays all senses of the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still. In man, as well as herbs, grace and rude will, and whichever the worser is predominant, For soon the canker death eats up the plant.
Good morrow, Father!
Benedicite, what early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Ah, young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Therefore it doth me assure thou art roused with such distemperature. Or, if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not yet been to bed tonight.
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
Oh, God, pardon sin. Was thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father, no. I have forgot that name, and that name's woe.
Oh, that's good, my son, but where hast thou been then?
I have been feasting with mine enemy, whereon a sudden one hath wounded me that's by me wounded. Both our remedies within thy help and holy physic lies.
Be plain, my son, rest homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know that my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine, by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis. What a change is here. If e'er was thyself in these woes thine, thou in these rows were all for Rosaline. But thou art changed. Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there is no strength in men.
Thou chidest me off for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not loving people mine.
And badest me bury love.
Not in a grave to put one in, another to have out.
I pray thee, chide me not. Her I love now. Doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well. Thy love did read by rote that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come with me, and away I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance so may happy prove to turn your household rancor into pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosalind, torments him so enough to make him go mad.
Tybalt the kinsman to old Capulet hath sent a letter to his father's house.
Oh, a challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master, how he dares being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead, stabbed with the white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bow-boy's butt shaft. And he is the man to encounter Tybalt?
Why? What is Tybalt?
Oh, he's more than Prince of Cats. He's the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song. He keeps his time, his distance, his proportion. He rests his minim, 1, 2, and a third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button. A duelist! A duelist! A gentleman in the very first house of the first and second cars. Ah, the immortal Passado. The Pluto Reverso. The hay.
The what?
Oh, the pox of such antic lisping affecting fantasies. These new tuners of accent. Jesse, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore.
Here comes Romeo.
Oh, bonjour, Signor Romeo. Oh, there's a French salutation to your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
Oh, that's as much to say a case such as yours constrains a man to bow in the hands.
Meaning to curtsy.
Oh, come between us, good Benvolio, my wit faints.
Swits and spurs are all for a match.
Oh, nay. For if our wits were to run the wild goose chase, I am done. For thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits than I am sure I have in my whole 5. Was I with you there for the goose?
Oh, thou wast never with me for anything when thou wast not there for the goose.
Oh, now is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art, and by art as well as by nature. This drivelling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bottle in a hole.
Stop there! Stop there!
Oh, here's goodly gear, a sail, a sail!
Oh, two, a shirt and a smock.
Petra?
Anon.
My fan, Petra.
Oh, good Petra, to hide her face, for her fan is the fair face.
Can any of... got you good morrow, gentlemen.
Oh, got you good eating, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good eating?
Oh, 'tis, I tell you, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you, what a man are you?
One gentlewoman that God hath made, himself to mar.
Can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name for fault of wars.
Oh, if you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper!
Abad, Soho!
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady.
I pray you, sir, who was this saucy merchant that was so full of his ropery?
A gentleman, nurse, that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And to say a thing against me, I'll take him down, and we're a lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I'll find those that shall. Scurvy knave. I'm none of his flirt gills. I am none of his skeins mates. Scurvy knave. Oh, and thou must stand by too, and let every man use me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you at his pleasure. If I had my weapon, should quickly have been out. I warned you. I dare draw as soon as another, if I see occasion a good quarrel, and the law on my side.
Now, afore God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers. Pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you before, my young lady bid me inquire you out. What she bid me say, I will keep to myself. But let me first tell thee that if thou shouldst lead her in a fool's paradise, as they say, truly it were a very gross thing to be offered. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if thou shouldst deal double with her, truly it were a very ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress, I protest unto thee.
Oh, good Lord, and in faith I will tell her as much. Lord, she will be a very joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to church this afternoon. There she shall at Friar Lawrence cell be shrived and married. Here is for thy pains.
No, truly, sir. Not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir? She'll be there.
And stay thou, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee. And bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high-top gallant of my joy must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell. Be trusty and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commend me to thy mistress.
Oh, now God in heaven bless thee, sir. A word.
What sayest thou, my dear nurse?
Is your man secret Did you ne'er hear it said that two may keep counsel? Putting one away.
Warrant thee, my man is true as steel.
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady. Oh, Lord, when was a little prating thing. Oh, there is a gentleman in town, one Paris that would fain lay knife aboard. But I warrant she, good soul, would rather see a toad, a very toad, as a look at him. I anger her sometimes and say that Paris is the proper man. Oh, but when I say so, she looks as pale as any clue to the universal world.
Commend me to thy lady.
Aye, 1,000 times. Petra!
My lord.
Before, and in pace! Shoo! Shoo, 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 shoo.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. Oh, that's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glides than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind swift Cupid's wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm, youthful blood, my words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many feign as they were dead, unwieldy, heavy, slow, and pale as lead. Oh! Oh God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Oh, Lord, why look'st thou so sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shames the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face. Oh.
I am a-weary. Give me leave a while. Why, how my bones ache.
I would thou had my bones, and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak, good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste! Can you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Say I, then I'll state the circumstance. Let me be satisfied, is it good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. Romeo? No. Though his face be better than any man's. Oh, yet his legs excel all men's. And for a hand, and a foot, and a body, though they be not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He's not the very flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No, but all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage, what of that?
Oh, my head. Oh, what a head have I. It beats as though it would break into 20,000 pieces. My back. My back! Ah. Oh, now the other side. Now be shrew your very soul for sending me to catch my death of jutting up and down.
Faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, come. What says of my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a kind, and a handsome, and all warrant of virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
God's lady, are you so hot? Come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforth do your messages yourself.
You're such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to church today?
I have.
Then hie you to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Oh, now comes the wanton blood up into thy cheeks. They'll be scarlet straight at any news. Oh, hie you to the cell. I must another way. To fetch a ladder by which your love must climb a bird's nest ere 'tis dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight. But you shall bear the burthen soon at night. I'll to dinner, hie you to the cell.
High tide fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy which one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love-devouring death do what he dare. It is enough. I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. Oh, here comes the lady now, so light and fit will ne'er outlast the everlasting flint. The lovers may bestride the gossamers in the idle wanton summer air, and yet not fall so light as vanity.
Good evening to my ghostly confessor.
Ah, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and thy skill be more blazoned to it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter. Come with me, and we shall make short work, for by your leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporates two into one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot and Capulets abroad. If we shall meet, we shall not escape a brawl, for these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows, when upon entering the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table, and says, God send me no need of thee! And then by the operation of the second cup, draws it on the drawer, when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Oh, come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and soon moody to be moved.
And what two?
Nay, and there were two such. There should be none shortly, for one would surely kill the other. Thou would quarrel with a man for having a hair more or a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou would quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, for having no other reason but because thou hast hazel eyes. And what eye but such an eye would spy out such a quarrel? Thy head is as full of quarrels as an egg is full of meat, yet thy head has been beaten as addle as an egg for quarreling. Didst thou not quarrel with a man for coughing in the street, because he had wakened thy dog that had lain asleep in the sun? Didst thou not fall out with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter? And another for tying his new shoes with old ribbon? And that would true to me from quarreling.
By my head, here comes the Capulets.
Oh, by my heel I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good den. A word with one of you?
Oh, why but one word with one of us? Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You will find me apt enough to that, sir, and you give me occasion.
Oh, could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortst with Romeo.
Consort? What dost thou make us, minstrels? And dost thou make minstrels of us? Look to hear nothing but discord. Here is my fiddlestick, sir. Here is that will make you dance. Come, consort.
We talk here in public haunt of men, either withdraw unto some private place and reason coldly out your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Oh, men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. For I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
I'll be hanged, sir, if you wear your livery.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the love that I bear thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none. Therefore farewell, I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the grievances thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but loved thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the meaning of my love, and so good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as my own. Be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Tybalt, rat-catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Oh, good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives for me to make bold withal, and for you to use me hereafter. Dry beat, the rest of the 8.
I am for you.
Gentlemen, Mercutio, put that rapier up. Draw Benvolio, beat down the weapons.
Ooh.
Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage! Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly hath forbidden banding in Verona streets! Hold, Tybalt! Good, Mercutio!
I am hurt! Plague about your houses. I am sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What, art thou hurt?
Oh, nay, 'tis a scratch. Oh, but 'tis enough. Where's my page? Go, villain! Fetch a surgeon!
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
Oh, it's not so deep a well or as wide a church door. Oh, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Here. Ask for me tomorrow and you shall find me a grave man. Well, the devil came me between us. I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Oh, come, Benvolio. Help me into some house or I shall faint. Plague about your houses. They have made worms meat of me. I have it, and soundly too. Your houses.
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that but an hour hath been my cousin, oh, sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Romeo! Brave Mercutio is dead. That gallant spirit hath espied the clouds, who too untimely here did scorn the earth.
This but begins, the woe of others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Away to heaven, respective lenity, and fire and fury be my conduct now!
Romeo, away be gone, Tybalt slain. The prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence be gone.
cease fooling.
Why dost thou stay?
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt that murdered, which way ran he?
There lies that Tybalt.
Officer, go with me. I charge you in the prince's name. Obey.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
Oh, noble prince, I can discover all, the unlikely manager of this fatal brawl. There lies that Tybalt slain by young Romeo, who slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin. Oh, my brother's child. Oh, prince, cousin, husband. Oh, the blood is spilled of my dear kinsman. Prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours shed blood of Montague. Oh, cousin.
Benvolio, who began this fray?
There lies Tybalt, slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo that spoke him fair bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered with calm look, gentle breath, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce to the unruly spleen of Tybalt, deaf to peace. Romeo, he cries aloud, hold, friends, friends, part! And swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes. Underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hid the life of stout Mercutio, and Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. And to it they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
She is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes her false. She speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all those 20 could but kill one life. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio. Who now the price of this dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, Prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but what the law should end. The life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your heart's proceedings. My blood! For your rude brawls doth lie a bleeding. But I'll immerse you with so strong a fine, you shall all repent at the loss of mine.
And
it shall be deaf to pleadings and excuses, nor tears, nor prayers shall purchase our abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he is found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy, not murders, pardoning those that kill.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebus' lodging. Such a Wagner, as Phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love, performing night, that runaway eyes may wink. And Romeo, leap into these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers concede to do their amorous rites, and by their own beauties. Come, civil night. Come, night. Come, Romeo. Come thou day and night, for thou will lie upon the wings of night, whiter than a new snow upon a raven's back. Come, gentle night. Come, loving, black-browed night. Give me my Romeo, and when I shall die, take him and cut him out into little stars, and he shall make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. here comes my nurse, and she brings news with every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what news? What hast thou there, the cords that Romeo bid thee fetch?
Aye, the cords.
Ay me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
He's dead. He's dead. We are undone, lady, we are undone. He's gone, he's killed, he's dead!
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Romeo, whoever would have thought it of Romeo?
Oh, what devil art thou that dost torment me thus? This torment should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou but I, in that bare vow, I shall poison more than the death-darting eye of cockatrice. I am not I if there be such an eye, nor those eyes shot that make the answer I. If he be slain, say I, or if not, no. Brief sounds determine of my weal or woe.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. Here, on his manly breast. A pale, hideous corse. Pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood, all gore and blood. I swooned at the sight. Oh, Tybalt, the best friend that ever I had. Oh, courteous gentleman, I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered, and is Tybalt dead? My dearest cousin and my dearer lord? Then dreadful trumpets sound the general doom, for who are living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh, God. Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. It did, alack the day it did.
Did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical, ravenous dove-feathered raven, wolfish ravening lamb, despised substance of divinest show, just opposite to what thou justly seemed. A dim saint, an honorable villain. Was ever book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace!
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is a shame to sit, for 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned, sole monarch of the universal earth.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, poor my lord. What tongue shall smooth thy name when I 3 hours' wife have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, did thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. My husband lives, that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt dead, that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort, wherefore weep I then. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That one word banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough had it ended there. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, measure, bound in words that death, no words can that woe sound. Where is my father and my mother, nurse? Weeping and wailing o'er Tybalt's corse. Will you go to them?
I'll take you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine shall be spent when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Take up those cords. For ropes you are beguiled, both you and I, for Romeo is exiled. He made you a highway to my bed, but I, a maid, die, maiden widowed. Come, cords, come, nurse, I'll to my wedded bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maiden head.
Hie to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I know well where he is hid. Hark you, your Romeo will be here tonight. He's hid at Friar Lawrence's cell.
Find him, give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his love's farewell.
Romeo, come forth. Come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment banished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Huh? Banishment. Be merciful, say death, for exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
From Verona thou art banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Then death is banished, mistermed, calling death banished. Thou cutt'st my head off with the golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
O deadly sin, O rude unthankfulness! Thy fault the law calls for death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath brushed aside the law, and turned the black word of death into banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou sees it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing, live here in heaven and may look upon her. But Romeo may not. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? But Romeo may not, he is banished. Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden meaning death, though ne'er so mean, but banished to kill me, banished. Oh, friar, the damned use that word in hell, howlings attends to it. How hast thou the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed, to mangle me with that word banished?
Then, fond madman, hear me speak.
Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
I'll give thee armor against that word. Adversity's sweet milk philosophies to comfort thee, though thou art banished.
Yet banished. Hang up philosophy, unless philosophy can make a Juliet. Displant a town, reverse a prince's doom. It helps not, it prevails not. Talk no more.
Then I see madmen have no ears.
How should they when wise men have no eyes?
I'll despair with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of that you dost not feel. Wert thou as young as Juliet, my love, an hour married Tybalt murder, doting like me and like me banished, then mightest thou speak. Then mightest thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, one knocks. Romeo, hide thyself. Hark ye how they knock? Who's there? Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while, stand up. Run to my study. By God's will, what simpleness is this? I come. Who knocks so hard? Whence you come? What's your will?
Let me in and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Ah, welcome then.
Oh, Holy Friar. Oh, tell me, Holy Friar, where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There, on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
He is even in my mistress' case, just in her case. Even so lies she, weeping and blubbering and weeping. Stand up. Stand up. Stand, and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, stand and be a man. Why should you fall in just so deep an oh?
Nurse.
Ah, sir. Ah, sir, death's the end of all.
Speaks thou, Juliet. How is it with her? Doth not she think me an old murderer, and I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood removed but little from her own? Where is she, and how doth she? And what says my concealed lady to our concealed love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but starts up from her dead bed, and on Romeo calls and Tybalt cries, and then down falls again.
Oh, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand. Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art. By my holy order, I thought thy disposition be better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself and slay thy lady, whose life is in thy love? What rails thee against your birth, the heavens and the earth? What? Rouse thee, man! Juliet is alive, who until recent thought thee to be dead. There thou art happy. Tybalt was to kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There thou art happy. The law calls for thy death, but became thy friend in the word exile. There thou art happy. Happiness courts thee in her best array, but like a misshaped and sullen wench, thou hast put us up thy fortune and thy love. Take heed. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go. Get thee to thy love as was decreed. Ascend her chamber hence and comfort her. Stay not till the watch be set, till thou can travel to Mantua, where thou shalt stay till a time that we can blazon thy marriage, reconcile friendships, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 1,000 times more joy than thou wentst in lamentation. Huh? Go before, nurse, commend me to thy lady. Bid her hasten the entire house to bed, which with heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming.
Oh, I could have stayed here all night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is! Oh, my lord, I will tell my lady you will come. A ring she bid me give you, sir. Hark you, come fast, for it grows very late.
How well my comfort is revived by this.
Go hence. Good night, and here lies all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by break of day disguised from hence. Sojourn to Mantua. I'll seek thee out a man who'll signify from time to time every good hap that chances here. Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell. Goodbye.
Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we've not had time to move our daughter. But look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, as did I. But we are just born to die. 'Tis very late, and she will not come down this night. But I can promise you that if it weren't for your company, I would have been in bed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no times of woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. She will still be ruled by me in all respects. Nay more, I doubt it not. Well, wife, go to Juliet ere you go to bed, and acquaint her with our son Paris's love, and bid her, mark my words, on Wednesday next. But what is today?
Monday, my lord.
Monday? Oh, well then Wednesday's just a little bit too soon. Let's do Thursday. Thursday it'll be. Go and tell her that she will marry this noble earl on Thursday. But will you be ready? Is all this haste work for you? We'll make no big ado. We'll only invite a friend or two. But hark you, with Tybalt being slain so late, it might be thought that we held our kinsman carelessly if we revel too much. So we'll invite only 6 guests, and that will be the end of it. Will Thursday work for you?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
We'll get thee gone. Thursday it is. Wife, go to Juliet ere you go to bed, and prepare her up for her wedding day. More light to my chamber. Oh, afore me, it grows so late, it could be thought to be early by and by. Good night.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale, and not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yond pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, O nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight. I know it, aye. It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be to thee a torchbearer and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not to be gone.
Let me be ta'en, let me be put to death, I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say yon grey is not the morning's eye, 'tis but the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow, nor that is not lark whose notes do beat the vaulty heaven so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome, Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk, it is not day.
It is, I hence be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Oh, now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam! Nurse? Nurse.
Oh, your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Look about.
Window, let day in, and let life out.
Farewell. Farewell, one kiss and I'll descend.
I'll be gone so. Love, Lord, I husband, friend. I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. By this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh, Fortune. Fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou will not keep him long. But send him back.
Oh, daughter, are you up?
Who is that calls? Is it my lady mother? Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live.
Yet let me weep for feeling such a loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling such a loss, I cannot help ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepst not so much for his death, as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain and he be many miles asunder. God pardon, I do with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor lives. We will have vengeance for it. Fear thou not. Then, weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua where that same banished runagate doth live, shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. And then, I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my heart so for a kinsman's vexed, to hear him named and cannot come to him, to wreak the love I bore my cousin upon his body that hath slaughtered him?
But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, beseech your ladyship?
Well, well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who to put thee from thy heaviness hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, which thou expect'st not, nor I looked not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is this?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, noble gentleman, the County Paris, at St. Peter's Church shall happily make thee a joyful bride.
Oh, by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not there make me a joyful bride. I wonder in this haste that I must wed, ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you, tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
When the sun sets, the earth doth drizzle dew. But when the sun sets on my brother's son, it rains downright. How now, my conduit, still in tears? Such a showing for such a little body? Wife, have you delivered our decree?
Aye, sir. But she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft. Take me with you? Take me with you, wife? She'll have none? She doesn't thank us? Is she not proud? Does she not think herself blessed, as unworthy as she is, that we found such a worthy gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful you have. Proud can I never be for what I have, but thankful even for hate that isn't love.
How now? How now? Chop logic? What is this? Proud? I thank you not. I thank me proud, me not proud. But fettle thy fine joints against going Thursday with Paris to St. Peter's Church. Or out thy sickness, thy green carrion, thy disobedient wretch.
Fie, what are you, mad?
Good father, I beseech you, on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, thy disobedient wretch. I'll tell you something. You will go to church on Thursday, or ne'er look me in the face again. Speak not, say not, Do not answer me. Wife, my fingers doth itch. We thought ourselves scarcely blessed that God hath given us this one and only child, but it's seeming to prove to be too much. It's almost like we have a curse in having her. Out on her Hilding.
You are too hot.
God's bread, this makes me mad! Day, night, hour, time, work, play, alone in company. It hath been my care to see her matched. And now that we have a gentleman of noble parentage, youthful, fair demeanor, nobly allied, stuffed with honorable parts, proportioned as one might think a man should be, and then to have a wretched pulling fool in her fortune's tender, a whining Mamet to say, I will not wed. I will not marry him. I am too young. I pray you will pardon me. You will not wed. I will pardon thee. Grace where thy will. You will not house with me. Look to it. Think on it. I do not jest! Place Thursday is near. Place thine hand on thine heart and advise. For I will give you to my friend, and you will not be hanged. You will not beg. You will not starve. You will not die in the streets or by my soul. I'll ne'er acknowledge thee. All that I have will ne'er do thee any good. Trust to it. Bethink it. I will not be forsworn.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week. Or if thou wilt not, make the bridal bed in the dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll speak not a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh, God. Oh, nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth unless that husband send it me from heaven by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me. Alack, alack, that heaven should practice stratagems on so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy, some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing. That he dares not come back to claim thee, or if he doth, it must needs be by stealth. Then, since the case do stand as now it doth, I think it best you married with the county. He's a lovely gentleman. Romeo is a dishcloth compared to him. An eagle hath not so green, so fair, so quick an eye as Paris hath. Now, beshrew my very soul, I think you are happy in the second match, for it excels your first. Or if it do not, your first is dead, or as good as were, as you living here, no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelously much. Go in and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father to Lawrence Cell, to make confession and to be absolved.
Mary, I will. wisely done.
Ancient damnation. O most wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my love with the same tongue she hath praised him with, above compare so many thousand times? Go, counselor. I'll to the friar to know his remedy.
On Thursday, sir. The time is very short.
My father, Captain, will have it so, and I know things slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talk of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrows so much sway, and, in his wisdom, hastes our marriage, to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, will be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
I would I knew not why it should be slowed. I do believe I hear some footsteps. Let me go check and see whom it is. Ah, yes. Juliet it is that sends my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That may be must be love on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Do you come to make confession of this, father?
To answer to that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory in that, for it was bad enough before their spite.
Thou wrong'st it more than tears with that report.
That is no slander, sir, which is a truth, and what I spake it to thy face.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
It may be, sir, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me pensive, daughter, now. My lord, you must entreat the time alone.
God shield, I should disturb devotion. Juliet, early Thursday I will rouse ye. Until then, adieu. And keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door! And when thou hast done so, come weep with me! Past hope, past care, past help!
Oh, Juliet, I know thy grief well. As streams me past the compass of my wits, I hear thou must nothing must prorogue it. On Thursday next be married to this county.
Oh, tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart and Romeo's. By thee this hand to Romeo sealed shall be the label to another deed. Give me some present counsel, or behold, twixt my extremes and me, this bloody knife shall play the umpire, arbitrating that which in thy years of commission and art could to no issue of true honor bring. Be not so long to speak, I long to die, if what thou speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope that proves as desperate an execution as that is desperate that we must prevent. If, rather than to marry the county Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away the shame that copes with death himself, to escape from it. And, if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me leap rather than marry Paris from the battlements of any tower, or walk in thievish ways, or bid me lurk where serpents are. Chain me to roaring bears, or bid me go into new-made grave and hide me there with the dead man in his grave. Things that to hear them told have made me tremble, and I will do so without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home. Be merry, give consent to marry, Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone in bed. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chambers. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and with this distilling liquor drink thou off. At present through thy veins shall course a cold and drowsy humor. No pulse shall speak his native tongue but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death shall thee remain for 42 hours. And then awake, as if from a pleasant sleep. Then, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there thou art dead. And, as the matter of our country is, and in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, be borne to burial at thy kindred's grave. To be born at that same ancient kindred's vault, where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. Meanwhile, Romeo shall by my letters know of our drift, and hither shall he come, and on that very night bear thee hence to Mantua, which shall rid thee of all thy present shame, if no inconstant toy, nor womanish fear abate the valor and the acting of it.
Give me, or tell me not of care.
Hold then, be strong and prosperous. In this resolve I'll send a sister with speed to Mantua with my letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
So many guests invite here are as writ. Sirrah, go hire me 20 cunning cooks.
You shall have none ill, sir, for I'll try if they can lick their fingers.
How canst thou try them so?
Marry, sir, 'tis an ill cook that cannot lick his own fingers. Therefore he that cannot lick his fingers goes not with me.
Well, get thee gone, or we'll be ill furnished for that hour. Now what? Where is my daughter? Is she still with that Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
Ah, well, perhaps he can ameliorate her pernicious behavior and do some good on her.
Oh, look where she comes from shrift, with merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Whereabout have thee been gadding?
Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here, and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforth I am ever ruled by you.
Go and summon the county, and tell him about this. I'll have this knot knit up by tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence cell, and gave him what become love. I might, not stepping all the bounds of modesty.
Well, I am glad on it. All is well, and 'tis good. I will go talk to the county, and I'm merry, and go hither and bring the county here. Now, afore God, about this Reverend Holy Friar, the one who's got the whole city bound by him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
Aye, my lady.
No, not till Thursday. There's time enough.
Oh, go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church on tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
Oh, tush, I'll stir about. All will be well, I warrant thee. Now, go to Juliet and prepare her up for her wedding day. I'll not sleep tonight, so leave me alone. I'll play the housewife for just this once. Oh, well, they've all gone forth. I guess I'll walk down to the county myself and prepare him up for tomorrow. My heart is filled with wondrous light that my wayward daughter has been reclaimed.
sorry, those attires are best. But, gentle nurse, I pray you leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many arisings to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou know'st is crossed and full of sin.
What say you? Need you my help?
Oh, no, madam, we have culled such necessaries as are behooveful for our state tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I'm sure you have your hands full in this also sudden business.
Good night, and get thee to bed, and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. Oh, Romeo. 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 I drink to thee. Here's drink.
Sir, but I know not what.
Well, hurry, Sirrah, and go get some drier logs and talk to Peter. Peter will help you find where they are.
I have a head, sir, that will find out logs, and never bother Petra for that matter.
Oh, mass and well said. Such a cheerful fellow. Well, we are at loggerheads, and Father, 'tis the day. The county will be here with music straight, as he said he would, and I think I hear him near. Nurse, go wake up Juliet and get her ready. I'll talk to the county. Hurry. Alacrity. Her bridegroom has come.
Mistress! Oh, Juliet! Oh, fast I warrant her she. Fie, slick a bed. What, not a word? And dressed and down again? Oh, I must needs waken you. Oh. Lady. Baby? Alas! Help! Oh!
What noise is here?
Look! Alexei!
What is the matter?
Look, my lady!
Oh, me.
My child! My only life! Revive! Look up! Or I will die with thee! Help! Call help!
For shame! Bring Juliet forth, her lord is here.
She's dead. Deceased, she's dead. Alack the day! She's dead! She's dead!
Oh, let me take a look. Her skin has grown cold. Her blood has pooled. Her joints have grown stiff. Life and those lips have long parted. Death covers her like an untimely frost on the most beautiful flower in the entire field. Death has taken her to make me. Death, thou art. Alas, my child is dead.
Come, is the bride ready to go to the church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Oh, my son, this had to happen on the day before thy wedding. Death has lain with thy wife.
Have I thought long to see this morning's face, and doth it give me such a sight as this?
Accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day! Most miserable hour that e'er time saw, in lasting labor was broken.
Oh, child. Oh, child. My soul, but not my child. Oh, my child is dead. And with her, all my hopes and all my joys are buried.
He's so. For shame, confusions. Care lives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now heaven hath all, and all the better is the maid for it. For your part, you could not keep her from death. And now heaven keeps his part in eternal life. The most you wanted for her was her promotion. For 'twas your heaven to see her advance. And weep ye now, seeing she is advanced, above the clouds as high as heaven itself. Dry up your tears, and stick your rosemary unto this fair course. And as the custom is, and in her best robes, bring her to the church.
All that we have ordained, festival, in thy office, hath been turned to a black funeral. All our instruments to melancholy bells. Our wedding cheer to a black funeral feast. Our bridal flowers to be buried with a corpse. All that we have made has been changed to the contrary.
Sir, go you in. And madam, go with him. And go, Sir Paris. Everyone prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave. The heavens do lower upon you for some ill. Move them no more by crossing their high will.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead, strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona, how now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How doth my lady Juliet? That ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
And she is well, and nothing can be ill, for her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels live. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my office, sir.
Is it even so? I deny you stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper, and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Tush, thou art deceived. Leave me, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee gone, and hire those horses. I will be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means, O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts dwells, which late I noted in tattered weeds with overwhelming brows, culling of simples, meager were her looks, sharp misery had worn her to the bones. And if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a caitiff wretch might sell it him. Oh, this same thought did but forerun my need, and this same needy hag must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the house. Being holy day, the shop is shut. What ho! Apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, hag. I see thou art poor. Hold. There is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath as violently as hasty powder fire doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
I have such mortal drugs, for which Mantua is love's death to him.
Art thou so barren, full of wretchedness, and fierce to die? Famine is in thy cheeks. Need and oppression starveth in thy eyes. Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich, then be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will. Drink it off. If you had the strength of 20 men, they would dispatch you straight.
There's thy gold. Farewell, buy food, and get thyself in flesh. Come cordial, and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Holy Franciscan Friar, brother, ho.
The same would be the voice of Sister Joan. Ah, welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo, or if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find the barefoot brother out, one of our order to associate me here in the city visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of this town, suspecting me both were in a house where infectious pestilence and rain sealed up the doors and would not let us forth. So my speed to Mantua, there was a stayed.
Well, who bore my letter to Romeo then?
I could not send it. Here it is again, nor get a messenger to bring it to thee, so fearful were they of infection.
Oh, unhappy fortune. By my brotherhood, this letter was not nice, but of dear import and full of charge. The neglecting it made you much danger. Sister Joan, go thee hence and get me an iron crow and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Oh, now must I to the monument alone. Within these next 3 hours shall Juliet awake, and she will beshrew me much that Romeo hath no notice of these accidents. I will write again to Mantua, and keep her close at my cell till Romeo come. Oh, poor living corse, closed in a dead man's tomb.
Give me thy torch, girl, hence and stand aloft. Yep. Put it out, for I would not be seen. Under yon young trees lay thee all along, holding thy ear close to the hollow ground, so shall no foot upon this churchyard tread. Being loose, unfirm with the digging up of graves, but thou shalt hear it. Whistle then to me a signal that thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I bid thee, go.
I am almost afraid to sit alone here in this churchyard, yet I will adventure.
Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh, woe, thy canopy is dust and stones, with which sweet water nightly I will dew, or, wanting that with tears distilled by moans, the obsequies that I for thee will keep, nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. The girl gives warning, something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What, with the torch? Muffle me night a while.
Hold. Take this letter. Early in the morning see thou deliver it to my lord and father. Upon thy life I charge thee, whate'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that. Live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow.
For all the same, I'll hide me hereabout.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food.
This is that banished haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin, with which grief it is supposed the fair creature died, and here is come to do some villainous shape to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop, vile hollow toil, vile Montague! Can't vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter say a madman's mercy bid thee run away.
I do defy thy commiseration, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Oh, Lord, they fight. I will go call the watch.
Oh, I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb, lay me with Juliet.
Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. Oh, my love, my wife. Death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? I will believe, shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous? Come, lie thou in my arms. Here's to thy health, where'er thou tumblest in. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss. Here's to my love. O true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus with a kiss, I die.
St. Francis be my speed, how oft tonight my old feet have stumbled at graves. Who's there?
Here's one, a friend and one that knows you well.
Bliss be upon thee, tell me, my good friend, what torch yon vainly lends its light to grubs and eyeless skulls? As I discern, it burneth at Capel's monument.
It doth so, holy sir, and there's my master, one that you love.
Well, who is it then?
Romeo.
How long has he been there?
Full half an hour.
Come with me to the vault.
I dare not, sir.
Stay, I'll go alone. I owe much, I fear so much, I fear some ill, unlucky thing. Romeo? Alack, alack, what blood is this that stains the entrance of the stony sepulchre? Romeo? Oh, pale. Who else? Oh. What? Paris too? And steeped in blood? Oh, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. Oh, the lady stirs. Oh.
Comfortable friar, where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and here I am. Where's my Romeo?
I hear a noise, lady, that comes from the nest of death, contagion and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. So come with me. Oh, there, in thy bosom, lies thy husband, dead. And Paris too. Come with me, and I'll hide thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Go, good Juliet, I dare no longer stay.
Go, get thee hence, for I will not away. What's this? A cup closed in my true love's head. Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. Oh, Charles, drunk all, and left no friendly drop. I will kiss thy lips. Happily some poison yet doth hang on them to help me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm.
Lead boy, which way?
Yea, noise. Then I'll be brief. O happy dagger, 'tis in thy sheath. There, rust, and let me die.
This is the place, there where the torch doth burn. The ground is bloody. Go, some of you, whoever you find, attach. Pitiful sight. Here lies the county slain. And Juliet, warm and newly dead, who here hath lain these 2 days buried. Go, tell the prince, run to the Capulets, raise up the Montagues. We see the ground whereon these woes do lie, but the true cause of all these piteous woes, we cannot without circumstances cry.
Here's Romeo's man. We found him in the churchyard.
Hold him in till the prince come hither.
Here's a
friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps. We took a spade and mattock from him as he was coming from churchyard side.
A great suspicion. Say the friar, too.
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning rest?
What noise is this that causes these people to shriek so abroad?
What fear is this which startles in your ears?
Sovereign, here lies County Paris slain, Romeo dead and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Search, seek, know how this foul murder comes.
Here is the friar that slaughtered Romeo's men with instruments upon them fit to open these dead men's tombs.
Oh, heavens. Wife, see how our daughter bleeds.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir, now early down.
What further woe conspires against my age?
Look, thou shalt see.
Oh, thou untaught, what manner is in this? To press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while till we clear these ambiguities, to know their spring, their head, their true descent. Then I'll be gentle to your woes. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected as the time and place doth make against me of this direful murder. And here I stand, ready to both impeach and purge myself condemned and myself excused.
And say at once without us knowing this.
I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, there dead, is husband to Juliet. She, there dead, is Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city. For whom, and not for Tybalt, did Juliet pine. You, having to remove the siege of grief from her betrothed, would have her married perforce to County Paris. Then she came to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some means to rid her of this second marriage, or there in my cell would she kill herself. Then I gave her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought upon her the form of death. Meanwhile, I writ to Romeo that hither shall he come, and remove her that night from her kindred's vault, being the time the potion's force should cease. But she who bore my letter, Sister Joan, was stayed by an accident, and yesternight returned the letter back. So I, all alone, at the prescribed hour of her waking, to take her from her kindred's vault. When I arrived some minute before the time of her awaking there, I untimely found noble Paris. True Romeo, dead. She awoke, and I entreated her to come with me and do heaven's work with patience. But then a noise did scare me away from the tomb, and she, so desperate, would not come with me, but as it seems, did death and violence to herself. All this I know, and to their marriage her nurse was privy. if aught this be miscarried by my fault, then let my old life be sacrificed some minute ere before the time unto the rigor of severest law.
Still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say to this? You there, bring that letter. I wish to look upon it. This letter doth make good the friar's words. The course of their love, the tidings of her death. And here, he writes that he bought a poison of a poor apothecary, wherewithal came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be thy enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge has laid upon your hate, that heaven's funds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished!
Brother Montague, give me thy hand. For this is my daughter's jointure, and no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more. I will raise her a statue in pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall be no figure at that rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich as Romeo by his lady lie, poor sacrifices to our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show its head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was there a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.